Do you have one of those bigger chihuahuas like the
Yeah.
Taco Bell, or do you have a toy chihuahua? Like
No, I kind of wish I had a toy one because like the barks wouldn't be as annoying. So this is a chihuahua mixed with I don't even know, but it's long. It's like a greyhound. No, don't ooh it. It's a bad dog.
What?
It barks. I don't like this damn dog.
You don't. Is it
sheds a lot.
your fiance's dog, or is it your dog?
It's my fiance's dog.
You inherited the dog.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Dude. It's the worst. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the worst. The worst part is it's not a real dog. It doesn't really do anything. So when it barks and it's like, there's someone at the door, someone at the door, someone at the door. It's like, what are you gonna do about it, dude? What are you gonna do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Also, it's very like, please love me. And I'm like, oh my God. That's what I sound like. Please love me.
All right.
Thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Got that to deal with. Hey, listen, I'll guarantee everybody it's going to be terrible on Sunday because my son has a flag football game. So just be ready.
That's true, actually.
Just be ready. Still meeting about those makeup dates.
Wow.
Let's get to it.
What's going to happen like in regards to, because you said not every team needs to make up.
I don't know. But they're like, oh, deadline for spring for the Tyreek Hill football spring season. I'm like, don't you guys kind of owe me a season? Like, I got to pay you guys another $150 for a season. Like, don't you guys owe me a season? Like, the weather has canceled out all his games. I feel like I got some games in hand that I'm owed.
You should. Yeah.
Like, don't I get to use those as credit? Like, can I pay $40 for the next season?
Okay, I'm sorry. You want $110 discount?
I want a $110 discount.
No
this is
way.
ridiculous. This is a shakedown.
$75 off.
I'm going to go to that tent. I'm going to do some negotiating.
You have to.
I'm going to do some negotiating when I get there.
I missed 3 games last season. Does that equal $60?
I don't know. All right, couple things with the Dolphins. First off,
yes.
Instead of talking about all the subtractions that have been prevalent over the last few days, very interesting that yesterday news was revealed. I believe Schefter was the first one I saw reported, but then other outlets have hooked into this. That free agent tight end and former FIU Panther, Janu Smith, is visiting with the Miami Dolphins.
Nice.
And already in contract talks.
Already. Damn.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Intrigued.
Because you want to know something?
Yeah.
We need somebody big to catch the ball.
We do.
We need somebody big to catch the ball. All love to Durham Smythe.
Love Durham
who came along in the second half of last season.
I really do.
We know what he is first. He's a blocker first.
Yeah.
He's a pass catcher second.
But I like him as my second option.
Right.
Yeah.
But we need somebody of some stature who will actually run a route. I'm like Chase Claypool, who's just freelancing out there willy-nilly.
What is that?
We need somebody who Mike McDaniel will actually trust in the tight end position who will throw the ball to. Because listen, there's no pleasing this Mike McDaniel when it comes to the tight end position.
True.
You know, like this guy is looking for some kind of unicorn. This is what George Kittle did to him, I guess. Yeah. So the fact that they're bringing in Janu Smith, he had a nice year last year with the Falcons.
I was just looking at it right now.
Yeah, had a nice year. He had 2 stinkers in New England. But can I really blame our paws up man? Because you got McCorkle as your quarterback. What can I hold against you? You know what I mean?
Very true.
If you have McCorkle just torpedoing your career, I can't blame Janu Smith for that.
Well,
how am I to blame? Imagine when he does with Tua, though. Oh, wow.
He had comparable numbers to Kyle Pitts. So being on a team with like this tight end phenom and still being able to produce, wow, I like that.
I saw that Kyle Pitts was calling out Florio because Florio went on McAfee and he had said that Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins have been in touch with who will wear number 8 next season. Okay. He says, "This is funny. You guys will come up with anything."
That sounds like something that's like I would make that up.
That sounds like it sounds like something. Oh, I don't know who you think's gonna wear 8. Oh, we did see it was the demise of Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul.
That's true.
You know, so maybe it's a bigger deal than we think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Janu Smith, former FIU Panther, is visiting with the Miami Dolphins. Look, it's good. I'm happy to see we're talking about some moves that we're making. You know, so much doom and gloom right now because all we're talking about is guys leaving and too much money and contracts. And I want to talk about some new stuff, dude. Like, let's get to it. I've been talking about the same people leaving for the last 4 weeks. I want to talk about who we're getting at 21. I want to talk about weapons we're going to be adding because we need to tinker, dude. Okay. If you're Mike McDaniel, you need some new weapons and get things going. And we got, you know, a star wide receiver at the peak of his powers right now
Yeah, he is.
And he's got I mean, he seems to have a lot of faith in Tua.
Well,
What?
you said faith?
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
think so.
What do you mean?
I don't know, man. My boy's been talking. Tyreek Hill does that thing from time to time.
He talks. He's a chatterbox.
He says some words, dude. And I think you taught me this earlier in the show, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes you got to read between the lines, right?
I mean, I did tell you that. I mean, I was referring more to the Heat. I mean,
I think you can apply it to other situations.
What do you mean? Like, what are you trying to get at?
Have you seen Tyreek Hill on the pivot?
I saw some clips. I saw he's very mad at Rick Ross.
Indeed.
I saw that made national news yesterday. I saw he was very mad at Rick Ross.
Yeah, man. A couple other things made national news other than his beef with Rick Ross, though.
Which, by the way, it's a great point because he's like, Rick Ross is sitting here. He's trying to use wings. This is a Wingstop promo. He's like, can you go help?
That's a businessman.
I kind of feel like that is the most helpful Rick Ross can be. He's not a fireman. And if Rick Ross's Instagram, if nobody knew about the fire, now they know.
Yeah, it's true. I think he was upset that Rick Ross didn't even call him about it. But I'm like, what am I going to call you? I should call the fire department first, probably, right? Tyreek, your house is on fire. All right, cool. Thank you for calling me. Don't let anyone know. There's a fire, sir. People are going to know.
Okay, so what did he say that caught your attention? Not the Rick Ross thing, because that's, is there going to be something? Oh, okay. Is there going to be something with Tua that you're diving into because you're rats off a ship?
I'm just if there's anyone who's a defender of Tua, who's called him the most accurate quarterback in the league, it's Tyreek Hill.
He has built him up.
Yeah,
he has built him up.
Look, if there's anyone who's going to be 100% honest or maybe even lean towards defending him, it'll be your star wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. But I got some clips from this pivot interview I want you to listen to. And maybe you can teach me that read between the line things a little bit more, because based off what I've already learned, I think I'm getting something different from what's being said here.
Interesting. Okay.
This is the first one. Tyreek Hill talking about how Tua had a season that he needs to build off. This is a good season for sure.
A building block.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Pretty good. Positive words from your star wide receiver.
This year, and I'm going to talk about Tua, then I'm going to get back to Patrick. Yeah. This year for Tua, this is a build-on season because this is obviously his best season of his career. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go from accurate to being that fearless, cocky, or not really cocky, but
the way he plays the game.
Yeah, the way you play the game.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
He gonna continue to add on to his game. You feel me? Cause he got the skill set and he got the supporting cast to do it. You feel me? With all the weapons that he got around him. Now Pat a different dude.
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
All right. Okay.
First of all,
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's saying he's building off it.
Yes.
I think that's fair. This was a year. What was the biggest thing for Tua this year? Got to stay healthy.
Yes.
He did. But Pat is a different dude right now.
Okay.
He's got 3 rings in how many years? 6 years?
For sure. Pat is a different
He's a different dude.
Absolutely.
He's a different, but that doesn't mean that Tua's not a talented quarterback. That there's nothing that bad about what he said there. Because what could he possibly say about Patrick Mahomes that means that he's a different dude?
Look, we know Tua isn't Patrick Mahomes. We also know that Tua, according to what Tyreek said, had a good year, accurate, has the skill set, right, and a great supporting cast. So what is he missing?
What is that? What is that? It's a
bad dog.
Why are you? What do you mean that's a bad dog?
He does not have that dog in him.
So
dude.
Hold on.
He's missing that dog in him.
That's ridiculous, dude. How
missing
can you?
Dog.
You can't claim
have
that
you
Tua
seen
doesn't
my
have,
dog? Please
dude,
call this number.
You can't say that Tua doesn't have that dog in him.
If you've seen this dog, please call this number.
He came back from a concussion, broken hip.
I mean, he's
took martial arts.
He's resilient. People are resilient sometimes.
You can be resilient and not have that dog in you.
There's different dogs, aren't there? We talked about my Chihuahua. What kind of dog is inside Tua? I know what kind of dog's inside Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill.
So you're saying he's more of a Saint Bernard, can live in the cold, but he won't be a guard dog and put the fear of life in a junkyard.
I need a junkyard dog in my quarterback.
What?
Dan Marino had that dog in him. We've seen Dan Marino yell. We've seen Peyton Manning yell. We've seen Tom Brady yell. We've seen all of the. You ever seen Tua yell?
I haven't seen him not yell.
I've seen him pout.
I have not seen him pout.
aggressively.
I have not seen him pout. I've not seen him pout.
I've never seen him yell. Look, we know that you need that aggressive spark to be a quarterback in this league that's going to be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his own star wide receiver says, I don't know, maybe the leadership that he has, which again differs from Patrick Mahomes. Look, dude, I really think if Tyreek Hill can be himself in these favorite interviews,
he is himself, but you got to say, Marcos, he also tells whoppers, like he's a whopper teller. So let me hear what he has to say on Mahomes.
This is what he had to say
but
about
then,
how Mahomes
and I'll
handles
be the judge of it.
situations.
Now, Pat a different dude, and I'm gonna tell you how he's a different dude. I can't remember what year it was, but we was like on a bad streak. All like his supporting cast were playing bad. Me, Kelsey, all of D-Rob, Miko, Sammy. We always playing bad. This dude called the whole offense up. He called the whole offense up. This was like on a Tuesday, I believe. He called us all up. He cussed all of us the out. Like, and me and Pat, we go back and forth.
Yeah.
But that was a moment right there where like he stood on business, and it was like, bro, I really respect this because he really just called out all his weapons, individually pointed us out, looked us in the eyes, and said, bro, Reed, you think you so fast, but you can't catch the ball. You want to be the best receiver in the game, and he was letting me have it. Then he went to Kelsey. Then he went to D-Rob. Then he went to Sammy. Like he went to all of us, calling us all out. And in that moment right there, I was like, yo, it's go time now. Like that put so much, like that put so much, like, I don't know what it put in my fuel in my heart, bro. Like that next game, that's when we begin to get things rolling. Because you never want to get called out by the leader of your team like that. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And it's like, bro,
That's just goes.
I'm not gonna let nobody down in the circle right here no more. And we start killing after that. And that's one thing that our quarterback, he gonna add, you know what I'm saying, to it. Because with Pat, we all had a relationship with Pat. Like we'll all hang out, we'll all, do stuff outside of football. And in Miami, we're still building that.
Okay.
Whoa,
dude,
this is worse than I thought.
Dude, it's
Hold
not
on.
worse than you thought.
Now that I hear it again, this is actually getting worse. Now, thank you for teaching me how to read Pat, because this is so much to take, dude. Wow.
I don't like what you're doing.
He's gonna add it. Which means
he's gonna add it.
Have it.
Okay, but first of all, are we gonna just ignore the fact that Patrick Mahomes, enraged, sounding like a frog, is gonna call everybody?
Okay, that is
like it's fair. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You think you're so fast? Bitch. Like it's a great story if you feel like you're gonna have this enraged voice on one side.
And what was this, his third year? Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe his third, because by the time Tyreek was there, this whole
I don't like
dynasty
those.
had
I didn't like the way those comments came off from Tyreek. I didn't love the way that came off.
Yeah, our quarterback will get there one day. That's what I heard.
Well,
one day.
Okay, but here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes is awesome. He's ruining it for everybody.
That's fair.
He's ruining it for everybody. He is different. I mean, I can't. Tua's not Patrick Mahomes, but nobody is right now. Nobody. He's already chasing Tom Brady.
This sucks, man. He's been a good soldier this whole time. Tyreek, people would hit him. Don't you miss the Chiefs? Don't you miss?
He does seem to miss the Chiefs very much. I would like his Chiefs fawning to just dial it back a bit.
I feel like
because he used to be Dolphins Don King. Like he would just hype up the Dolphins.
Yep.
I think at one point though, I did see a quote in this interview where he did say, I didn't see the video clip, but I saw on Twitter where he said he still thinks the Dolphins are the better team.
Yeah.
That the Chiefs just got us any given Sunday. Which that's the Tyreek Hill I like.
That's the one that
just
I like
in denial.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the Tyreek Hill I like. All right. So okay. Is there anything else that he having to say?
Look, so far, it's just been a comparison of Patrick Mahomes and Tua. And I understand he's not Patrick Mahomes, but something about that leadership that you need to be able to communicate with someone and them not take it personally. And apparently that's not happening in Miami, according to Tyreek Hill.
You know what I'm saying? It hasn't got to that yet. But I'm telling you, this year it's gonna get to that because we done had some battles in there. You know what I'm saying already, but it ain't been a battle where it's like we can have a conversation, but then we can come back the next play and be like, hey, bro, I think you should do that. You know what I'm saying? It's been, nah, f you. And then I'll talk to you later. You know what I'm saying? Or the next week. And we don't need that. It need to be like, look, bro, we need to do this. Yada, yada, yada. You need to get open. I need to be better. And then we need to come back and then talk about it, not have grudges against each other. Because we all trying to win.
That's the best.
We all trying to win, man. You know what I'm saying? Being able to have them tough conversations, you know what I'm saying, is needed, I feel like, bro. Because that got us better when Pat did it.
Yeah.
It made me want to kick his ass, but it made me want to get better, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. Now, look, you know what I heard there?
What did you hear? What did you hear?
My quarterback, too emotional. Too much of a baby.
That's not what he said.
Too much of a little
That's not what he said.
baby.
You are a bastard. That is
Little
not what he said.
Baby.
He's not what he
I
said.
love Christmas.
If anything, he's
Christmas
said
is great.
Christmas is great. And if anything, he's just saying like, oh well, you know, he wants him to hold guys more personally accountable.
Yeah.
All right, fine. That's fine.
Yep.
But it's different times in the careers. Like Tyreek Hill was not the Tyreek Hill that came to the Miami Dolphins, hired gun, you know, putting up monster numbers. What possibly could Tua say to Tyreek Hill? Hey, Tyreek, why don't you catch 1,900 yards? He's broken the Dolphins record twice.
He had some key drops last year, though.
He did have some key drops.
Hey, let's not fumble in Germany, dude. Take the 2 yards and let's go.
Okay, but it's tough when you're also fumbling. Like you can't say that.
He led the league in fumbles.
He did lead the league. He got some lucky bounces. I will agree with that.
Not bad snaps too.
I will agree with that. I don't like what you're doing.
I'm just saying.
I don't like what you're doing.
I'm just like
I don't like what you're doing, and I don't like what Tyreek Hill did on the pivot.
Can read between the lines.
I wish like Channing would have said to him, "Hey man,
what are you doing?
knock it off."
No, man. I mean, look, the cheetah speaks the truth.
No, he doesn't speak the truth. That's not true.
Except for when he totally lies.
Expect when, he lies a lot. He tells.
True.
He's not a flat out liar. He's just a whopper teller. I don't even know if I believe the Patrick Mahomes story.
What do you mean?
I don't know if I believe it.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know. First of all, so are you trying to tell me that Patrick Mahomes and him, so he wants to hang out more? So like Patrick Mahomes, the Mahomeses had game nights and the cheetah would come over?
I do think they'd have actual game nights, and then Jackson would be there and he'd be annoyed and he'd leave. But for at least 30 more minutes than he was with Tua. Apparently Tua doesn't do anything but go home to his family.
What a bad guy.
Play his little guitar.
What's wrong with that? You gotta decompress.
You know what, dude? I need you to go have a brewski with the boys.
What?
Dan Marino had brewskis with
In
the boys.
fairness, Tua had a baby at home this year. Even if you're the most famous quarterback in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Go tell your fiance you want some brewskis with the boys. You do it. You do it.
No, I'm not.
You do it.
I'm not.
No, you do it.
Tyreek
I
Hill
dare
invited
you.
me.
I dare you with a newborn baby to say,
Yeah.
Tyreek, I'd love to have you, have some brewskis with the boys. Like Tyreek's like, hey, Tua.
Yeah.
We're going over to the brews room, man. Why don't you come on? And then you I hate you. I don't care if you led the league in passing. Okay. Listen, man, my wife's not in the mood right now.
Really.
I'm gonna have to call a rain check on that.
Patrick would have did it.
What?
What? Oh, sorry.
Did Patrick Mahomes even have kids when Tyreek Hill was there?
I don't know. He has 3 now. Where do they come from? They don't just grow or something like that. I don't know. How long has it been?
Ridiculous. Take a break. Back after this.